Aphrodite Khan wished that the bullet had hit her, instead of her lover. She could not believe her eyes when she saw the man who was in love with her and passionately kissing her had dropped dead in her arms. A demon had materialized out of nowhere and snatched her hero from her loving embrace. The sight of blood and brains of her lover and the blast of the gun sent her into a catatonic state. She started to tremble and mumble unintelligibly. Losing control, she went into shock and lost consciousness, slumping beside the corpse. When she opened her eyes again, she found herself surrounded by nurses in some hospital. In the meantime, Javed Khan was arrested. This time, his father could do nothing to stop him from going to jail. He knew this crime would send his son directly to the gallows. There would be no shortage of evidence for the court to examine or witnesses to testify. The murder took place in the perfect halide lighting of the set, in front of more than 1,000 high-profile personalities of Bollywood. Many heroes and heroines already had the crime stored in their cell phones. The hero that the villain, Javed Khan, had murdered in cold blood was the son of a former Bollywood heroine. He had just started his career in the film industry. His mother and Mahmud Khan had a brief affair. At that time, the mother was 21 years old. Mahmud Khan offered her a role in his movie with the condition that she should be his secret mistress. For the sake of fame and money, the mother agreed to sleep with Mahmud Khan. It did not last long. She broke up with him the moment she fell in love with a young Bollywood hero. She was a Hindu and her new lover, Muslim. The young handsome hero that Javed Khan killed was their only child. The murder that punctuated the closing of the new movie resulted in a media blitz, which surrounded Aphrodite Khan. For the first time in Bollywood history, it was not the villain who was killed. This was no accidental death, but a grisly, premeditated cold-blooded murder. The police charged him with first-degree murder, prompted by the testimonies of eyewitnesses. He had, in public, threatened the hero with death on many occasions for pursuing the beloved heroine. Javed Khan told some of the actors and producers of the movie that his father had already talked to Aphrodite's family about his proposal in marriage and the parents had accepted, when in actuality, Mahmud Khan had lied to his son in order to pacify him. He knew that his son would harass Aphrodite and follow her until he discovered her hiding place. He told Javed of his intention to talk to her parents and see if they were willing to give her hand in marriage. Javed, as was his character, exaggerated and announced that Aphrodite Khan was engaged to him and soon they were to wed. In retrospect, Mahmud Khan had already received complaints at the start of the production that his son was lovesick and was harassing the lead actress, making things difficult for the crew. However, he didn't need to be told that the hero and heroine of the movie had feelings for each other. In essence, Mahmud was troubled only by the latter. He was afraid that Aphrodite might be encouraged by the hero to up and leave. The only contingency plan he had was to send her off to another farmhouse and keep her in seclusion once again. He would simply tell the media that Aphrodite Khan had returned to her family in Iran. His son's crime of passion, however, had now turned his life upside down and changed everything. He could neither hide her address nor send her to another location. The Mumbai police and the Bollywood media frequented their apartment and Mahmud Khan had no recourse but to grant Aphrodite Khan her freedom. He removed all his guards and allowed her to stay by herself. He stopped visiting her apartment at night. He communicated to her only by phone. Afraid that the phone might be tapped, he started talking to her in a civil tone. His threatening behavior ceased completely. This was at least a temporary relief for the Bollywood heroine, for she cried many hours and it took many days for her to come to terms with the shock of losing her first true love right in front of her eyes. The media people were shocked by the way the Iranian heroine talked and behaved. Unlike her peers, she was neither cultured nor articulate, but her childlike innocence captured the hearts and minds of those who came into contact with her. They would succumb to her simple charm of innocence, and that innocence itself evoked maternal or paternal instincts in those around her. Her siren-like beauty would make the rest simply fall in love with her. When her interviews were aired, she became the new iconic girl next door. She was considered by the world of Bollywood and the public at large, as the most sincere and innocent girl that had ever acted in an Indian movie. There was great demand from the public and pressure from Bollywood for the release of her movie. One female film director approached her and offered her a leading role in her upcoming movie. While the media people were crowding around the apartment building of his second Muslim wife, Mahmud Khan was busy trying to figure a way to stop his son from going to the gallows. He conducted many secret meetings with the top guns in the police department. He was advised that the only way to save the life of his son would be to find some qualified doctors and bribe them, so that they could declare his son mentally unsound. Therefore, Mahmud paid crores of rupees as bribes to doctors and top police officers. While he was striving hard to save his son, Mahmud Khan received another phone call from his former blackmailer. The caller claimed to be the same person who had called him previously about his imprisonment and abuse of the Iranian heroine at his farmhouse. This time, the blackmailer made two demands. His first demand was that Mahmud Khan release the Iranian girl and allow her to return to her family in Tehran, and the second demand was that he should deposit 20 crores of rupees in the same account, which he had given to him earlier. Then, the caller repeated his threats that if Mahmud Khan did not comply, copies of his videos would be sent to the police, and his wife. Instead of meeting his demands, this time Mahmud shouted at the caller and told him to do whatever you like. He said that he felt that the caller had scammed him before by taking his money without sending him all the agreed-upon videos. That was his frame of mind when he ended the phone call saying, "Go ahead and send your copies to the Mumbai Police Authority and my wife." In order to keep his image in Bollywood and continue to win the favor of his audience, Mahmud Khan released the new movie of the Iranian heroine. The new movie surpassed the record of the previous blockbuster, Mother India. The new Iranian heroine, the beautiful Aphrodite, and her true love story within the love story of the movie made everyone want to watch the movie. The two opposing characters of the hero and the villain who loved her and fought against each other in the movie were the same people who loved her in real life. The ending of the script, however, was the only thing that was fictional. It showed the hero killing the villain and kissing his lover. Everyone who watched the movie already knew the actual ending. At the ending credits, Mahmud included words of condolence to the deceased and apologies to the immediate family for the way his life was taken. In movie theaters across India, that additional part of the script caused many an eye to shed tears. Busy with trying to save his son from the hangman's noose, Mahmud Khan was about to find out that his blackmailer was not someone to trifle with, at all. As if he didn't have enough turmoil in his life, his wife received a copy of the video. It was the same one that he had screened earlier, showing the sadistic rape of the Iranian heroine. It was accompanied by a grimly worded warning. The message was short and to the point. If Mahmud failed to release the Iranian girl, imprisoned in his bandstand building, deposit 20 crores in the account specified, the video would now be sent to the Mumbai police and Stink News TV. He was given 2 weeks to comply. The letter ended with a warning that his captive was not to be harmed in any way, or the consequences would be disastrous. Mrs. Khan could not believe her eyes and ears when she watched the video. She did not know that her husband was a cruel sadist and sexually perverted man, until that point. She only knew that he wasn't interested in having sex with her. She also admittedly knew that he was obsessed with young girls, given the number of scandals following him. But the video revealed a very dark and ugly side of him. Before confronting her husband, she decided to get rid of that accursed Iranian girl who caused her son to kill someone without hesitation and sent to jail, forever. Her anger, toward Aphrodite, multiplied when she watched the video. The first thing Mrs. Khan did was to storm over to Aphrodite's apartment. She took 2 of her husband's bodyguards along with her. They were both Gondas and notorious murderers, aptly suited to the job she had in mind. When Aphrodite opened the door, the outraged woman forced her way inside the apartment followed by her two thugs. At first, she questioned Aphrodite about her secret affair with her husband, telling her about the video that showed their affair in detail. Aphrodite did not deny the video, but told Mrs. Khan that she was not a willing participant. She explained that she had been kidnapped by her husband's men and imprisoned in his house, and forced into secret marriage, where she was eventually subjected to a cruel sexual relationship. Mrs. Khan refused to believe her and told her to leave the apartment immediately. She threatened that if she returned again, her men would beat her to death. Aphrodite told her that she had no relatives in India, adding that she had no place to go. Mrs. Khan, hearing enough, took hold of her hand and dragged her out of her husband's apartment. Before she kicked her out, she stripped off all her jewelry and sent her out of the apartment without anything except the clothes on her back. She even took her watch. Mrs. Khan did not let go of Aphrodite's arm until she escorted her out of the building's gate. At the gate, the angry woman took off her shoe, and started battering Aphrodite. Blows rained on her head, shoulders, and back. She even spit on her face and called her many bad words in Hindi. She called her to waif. After beating and kicking her husband's to waif, Mrs. Khan went directly to her husband and confronted him about his shameful affair. At first, Mahmud Khan denied having an affair with his latest star. He even denied marrying her as a second Muslim wife. When confronted with the video, he began to shake from head to feet. He naturally assumed that the blackmailer had carried out his threat and sent a copy to the police, as well. His life as he knew it, was over as far as he was concerned. He could see no other way out, except suicide. His wife saved him the trouble of killing himself. She told him that the blackmailer wanted 20 crores or otherwise he would send a copy of the video to the police. The evil man felt as if he was drowning in deep water and his wife had stretched out her hand to save his life. He went on his knees and begged her to forgive him, and he promised that he would never touch another woman again, except her. The wife refused to forgive him, until he agreed to swear on the Holy Quran, invoking Allah and His gracious Prophet Muhammad and promising never to be unfaithful again. That done, his wife forgave him. Wasting no time, they both hurried to the State Bank of India and transferred the required 20 crores in the account of the blackmailer.